So, as you know, I have said before, I have a Google alert set up for when I hear about, the best of, shall we say, Brexit news every so often. And we have had in the past some very interesting, shall we say, articles and publications come up in the past. Um, we've had the Logistics Quarterly, the industry article, the industry piece for the logistics industry. We've had the Grocers of the UK, a magazine for people who run local shops here in the UK. We've had quite a few interesting things before. And of course, the reason why we go after these articles is very often, sometimes they have industry insights that never really, shall we say, pique the interest too much of national newspapers, but are very interesting, shall we say, the least, to hobbyists. And the drone industry here in the UK is quite alike. I remember back in the day, and this was quite a while ago, when drones were just becoming like commercially available, when they were just becoming a thing, they were just coming onto the market. I had one at the time. I had again, years past, planned to get a like commercial license with it all, but I didn't go through it. In fact, I've still got it, I think, somewhere, but I haven't flown it for years, so the battery's probably flat. But needless to say, they are now becoming more and more widely spread use, not just in filming. They're helping with all sorts of other different areas and things that you can use these drones for. Architecture, looking for structural weakness, things like that. Archaeology, I know they're used in, looking from above. Police have recently started using them as well. All sorts. So there is quite a large drone industry. You just might not have noticed it. But we're going to go find out how Brexit is actually facing a complete cliff edge of a Brexit for the drone industry here in the UK. So before we do jump into this article, please do hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below. And of course, there are links to my Patreon page and one of today's link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do support the channel this way. So on with this. This comes from Retail, the technology review. Never heard of this before. So this is a new one to me. But the title is UK drone industry is one of many British industries facing the cliff edge threat unless the government speeds up post-Brexit accreditation. So, the future of the UK drone industry, one of Britain's prime opportunities for growth, and many other UK-based manufacturing exporters will be severely threatened once the UK's eligibility for the EU's EC accreditation regime expires at the end of December 2022. Robert Galbard, one of the world's leading advisors on drone technology and the founder and chief executive of Drone Major Group Limited, warned today that the UK government are of the need to speed up the post-Brexit accreditation and establish a very clear pathway for the United Kingdom certified assessment of the USAC accreditation ahead of the fast impending deadline. And of course, this isn't going to work, because why are all of a sudden, when the EU has a gold standard on accreditation, why all of a sudden are people going to start paying attention to the UK's own manufacturing mark? We're not that big. And we've talked to the problems about this before. We aren't that big. We aren't that influential as they seem to think. And yet again, part of this, of course, can lead to what the Brexiteers certainly hope for, a massive road in deregulation. But anyway, we continue. If any alternative to the UK AC accreditation scheme is not in place in the next 12 months, the UK, USA, the unmanned air systems businesses, including drones manufacturers and operators, risk being unable to trade with the global marketplace in the absence of necessary new international regulatory accreditation. This is a pressing issue. If not addressed with greater speed, we will have serious consequences for many UK manufacturers looking to sell their products internationally. The issue is set to be tabled for discussion in Parliament later this month. Robert Goldman commented, "We must not sleepwalk into this urgent issue. it is essential that the UK takes a very clear, committed, constant approach to the development of the CA accreditation, something which would have a significant impact on the aviation and drone industries. We will also impact many others. The UK has no system in place for the accreditation of aviation materials and also drones, with all the CA certification no longer valid. Firms will have to return to EU certification procedures to re-clarify at great cost, both financially and to the detriment of the UK PLC. We now face a potential cliff edge threat, which requires urgent attention. This has huge implications for many UK industries that increasingly are relying on drone technology, including energy, agriculture, construction, and rail. Prior to Brexit, the UK utilised the European Conformity CE mark, which ensured full compliance of a product with all acceptable European health, safety, performance, and environmental requirements. However, post-Brexit, the UK CA, or the UK Conformity Assessment Mark, is now required for goods and products being placed on the market in Great Britain, and currently covers most goods which previously required the CE marking, known as the new approach for goods. From the end of this month, December of 2021, the UK will just have 12 months remaining. Wow, this feels very similar if you've been following this before. From the transition period to introduce and develop the new requisite accreditation to ensure the global compliancy of UK products before the upcoming deadline for full compliance on the 1st of January 2023. Of course, commenting on the timetable for accreditation, Robert Galford continued, "It is essential that a clear roadmap is established for the UK accreditation. This process of implementation is already highly complex and as it stands, will be very difficult for a certification scheme to be established with the United Kingdom Accreditation Service in time for the December 2022 deadline, unless the current pace is sped up. The UK departure from the CT accreditation post-Brexit has created an opportunity for the UK to develop an acceptable means of compliance in line with emerging international standards. It has also potential to allow the UK to look outwardly, facilitating a faster pace of innovation in a move away from the more prescribed approach taken by the EU CA accreditation." And again, the EU's approach wasn't really so prescribed. It is very, very widely used and very internationally recognized. So we must get this right to leverage one of the UK's biggest opportunities for growth in technology, where if we move fast, we could lead the world. And again, I very much doubt that on that, because again, the UK compared to the EU, we are tiny compared to the EU when it comes to looking at a market. So even if you do get this accreditation, why all suddenly should other markets in the world start paying attention to the UK accreditation symbol when the far larger market of the EU is sitting on their doorsteps? Like I say, there is a reason why the EU accreditation scheme is vastly known and recognized worldwide. And we've talked about this before. The idea that the government thinks it can just replicate a similar thing and everyone's all of a sudden going to start using it. Pure madness, because where else can you use it? Well, you can only use it in the UK. Whereas if you get the EU, you can use it across Europe. Of which, by the way, it is now recognized worldwide, has been for a number of years. But again, the Brexiteers never seem to understand this fact, of course, because believing in the delusion that Britain is far bigger than it actually really is. Of course, as we said before, if you followed Brexit in any way, shape, or fashion before, you will recognize everything that has been read in this article before. because So we'll keep a close eye on this. Of course, there's accreditation mark, but I highly suspect this will become an issue later in the year. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all